Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today, we are back to the basics, baby. We are going to the month of July, and we are going to do a monthly overview for that month, as well as the monthly budget overview also. I like to thank anybody who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. Truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if it's content you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. It's myself and Sweets, newly married. We got a whole bunch of kids, and we want to combine our futures, our family, and our finances, because we want to make sure that the decisions that we make now don't negatively impact our kids in the future. So I am here to do a July monthly budget overview and reset as far as the month expenses are concerned. So we're going to talk about how I go through that process. If it's something that you've got to do, go ahead, pull out your stuff. Go ahead and do it along with me. Or if you've not done this before, or you're interested in how this concept works, then stay tuned, because that's what we're about to talk through now. So this calendar, I found this calendar at Walmart. It's about $7. It is a monthly planner from 2024 to 2026, and literally that's it. That's all it is. It's just big old calendars, big old monthly calendars. It has a to-do or a task list over on the side, so you can document anything that you need to as far as this month is concerned. But that's basically all it is. And this is perfect because I wanted to have a larger view of what my month looked like before I then transpose that information, or take that information and put it into my budget binder. So this budget binder is the old school budget binder from Baddies and Budgets, and I'm using this now to document my paper version of my budget, so that this is the copy Sweets will look at while I still look at my digital planner. And that helps us as we meet together or talk through it on Sundays, typically, what things look like last week, what they're going to look like this week, and what they're going to look like in a few of the weeks to come as far as future planning is concerned. You might have seen information on future planning, or you might have seen this calendar before on my Instagram page. I just recently started one. It's under the same handle that I have for YouTube, My Financial Health Journey. If you choose to follow me over there, thank you. I appreciate it. But you might have already seen this and see me starting to document things out. And so let's talk through it. For July, I went in and I documented my paycheck cycles. That's the washi tape that you see. And I'll see if I can come in just a tad bit more. Is that good? Maybe that's better. Okay, so that's the first thing that I did, was document what my month looks like. And I did it by using the washi tape to understand where my paycheck cycles are. What I noticed, first off, or pretty quickly, let me move this over out of the way. What I noticed, sorry y'all, shaking the camera. What I noticed right away was that most of the first half of July actually is my June 28th check to cover those costs, because I won't get paid for the first time until July the 12th. So my mortgage and some of my debt and Verizon, etc., all had to be paid before I get a check on July 12th. That means I have to use that June 28th check to cover those costs. So my month of July is actually going to run from June 28th, which is that first paycheck that I'll receive that will impact my July budget, through July the 25th. And the reason why I said July 25th is because I get paid again on July 26th. But again, same thing is going to happen. Most of this check needs to be used to handle bills that are in August. So I'm going to consider July 26th forward to be a part of my August monthly budget. All right, so July budget will run from June 28th to July 25th. That is 4 weeks. And why is that important? because when you're dealing with your variable income that you have, how much money you give yourself every week or every 2 weeks, you need to understand how much you've got to work with, how many weeks you have to account for within that monthly budget. So I've got 4 weeks that I've got to account for within the July monthly budget. All right, so that was the first thing that I did. Went in and documented where my paycheck cycles came in, documented how many weeks are going to be a part of that particular month cycle. Then I went in and documented all of my bills, and not just when the bill is due. I put that on here as far as the date is concerned, but also what that amount should be if I know what that amount is. So I've got that documented in here as well, documented in my pay date dates, documented in any holiday dates that I have, and then any special bills that I needed to cover. So my property insurance needs to be covered on the 4th. And I have that on a sticker, and I have it separated out because I actually have a sinking fund for that. So all of that is already saved up, and I've got the money now to take care of. And we're still in June when I'm doing this budget, but I've already got the money set aside for the July 4th property insurance bill. But that's why that's on a sticker and nothing else is on a sticker, because it's different, it's special. It's not something that I'm trying to cash flow as a part of my paycheck. I'm already making accommodations for that in a sinking fund. The other thing, although it is going to be outside of the July monthly budget because it's not due until after the 26th, I am going to have my AMC that's due as well. I have a yearly subscription for that, which is $15. So one of the other things that we do as far as our yearly subscriptions are concerned, or subscriptions overall, is that we have a page here in this Baddies and Budgets where you can document out your subscriptions. And I went ahead and did that for the most part. And that's what you see here. You can document what that subscription is, the amount that's due, the due date for it, and then the frequency, whether you pay it every month or every year, and then you cross out each month to make sure that those are covered. So one of the things that we're doing as a part of our marriage and money concept was to worry about subscriptions first. How can we get all of these aligned where they're being paid under one account? We're working towards that, still in the midst of that. We've been able to change some things over, but some things we haven't been able to change over yet. But we're doing that. And then the second thing, as far as the subscriptions are concerned, is how many of these we can move to a yearly subscription that we're currently paying a monthly for. So those are the things that we're working through now as far as our marriage and money is concerned. We're concentrating second on subscriptions. The first thing that we did was to move over some of that variable expenses over into a weekly kind of format. I get paid every other week, so I'm a bi-weekly. I receive my paycheck bi-weekly, and I've always given myself a weekly amount of money for gas, for groceries, for home, for dining, etc. One of the things that Sweets has that he didn't necessarily make a separate accommodation for were supplements. He takes a lot of supplements. I take a few meds that I typically like to have available as well, like Zyrtec, etc. And so that was one of the first things we did. How do we kind of incorporate that into our weekly variable expenses? So we've already taken care of that. Second thing that we're working on is subscriptions. And so we're working through that. The third thing that we're going to work on is investments. That was the next step in this process. So, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Anyway, just wanted you guys to see this is how we're handling our subscriptions. I looked through all of this and realized there is one that's due in July. That's for an AMC subscription that I have. So we went ahead and documented that down. Now, although that falls outside of the 2 paycheck cycles that I'm concerned about, it still is happening in July. We needed to make sure we had that documented somewhere. So that's what we did. All right. After I did that, documented all of the bills, put in the amounts that were due, then I started to layer in life events. So for the 4th of July, we are going to have Sweet's oldest son and a friend of his come through. And our hope is we're going to have a cookout and then get all of the kiddos together. So have his son with my kids, my daughter, my son, and my other daughter, 2 daughters and son, and maybe we go out and do some bowling or something. Again, We're trying to figure out a way to combine not just our finances, but our families as well. So that's the plan, and that's something that we're going to have to fund. I know for sure. So we're gonna try and save some money for that. And then Sweets will be moving his stuff somewhere in here between the 15th and the 17th. Also, at the same time, my son will be moving in with me. So he's been staying with his dad, but his dad is moving to another state. And so he'll be moving in with me during this time period. So we got a lot of shuffling that's going to need to happen during this particular week. That's key because we're going to probably have to rent a U-Haul. We're going to have to buy some of those totes, right, for packing up stuff and trying to figure out a way to store things, organize things. And one of the things that I had not thought about, and I'm going to document it over here on my to-do list, was a junk removal, because I'm sure we're going to get rid of some things as well. So we're going to have to pay somebody to come and pick all of that stuff up and take it away. So I documented that. And again, this is one of the things that I like about this monthly view on this calendar is there is that running to-do list over here. And so we'll talk about that. Actually, we can talk about that now. So AMC Stubbs talked about that. The fact that Micah's moving in, talked about that. Senior picks, I had to put a asterisk there. Somewhere in this month, Corinne is supposed to go and take her senior pictures. And so I do have to have that documented here. I do not have to save money for that. Baddies and Budgets had a senior year savings binder that I ordered and I've been contributing to for a few months now. So we actually have a good bit of money set aside for senior picks already. And I'm grateful for that. So I don't have to worry about trying to cash flow that in here as well. July 4th, like I talked about, we want to go bowling. Lawn Love is documented here as having 3 times that I should be paying for them in the month of July. But I'm thinking about skipping this one because my lawn does not need to be cut truly every 2 weeks. And so I think I'm going to get it done this coming Thursday so that that amount will come out on the 1st. And then I think I'm going to skip this one. But we'll see. And then, but if I do, that helps to give me a little bit more of a cushion to worry about here for the week. We also have that moving that I talked about, cooking out, maybe doing a water park or something. They want to have more fun together. So we might try to cash flow that as well. We'll see. And then, like I mentioned just now, that junk removal, I'm going to have to worry about some costs around that too. So I need to account for that. And maybe I'll turn one of my Monday mini savings challenge envelopes into that amount. But this is how, and then birthdays. So I have 3 birthdays. I only had 2 birthday stickers, but I have 3 birthdays on the 30th. My sister-in-law has her birthday on the 30th. Her daughter, Alyssa, Auntie's baby, has her birthday on the 30th. And my son's birthday, Micah's birthday, is on the 30th. So there's a lot of Leo energy happening around that particular time. All right, so this is how all of this lays out as far as my month is concerned. Again, I now peppered in my life events, and I use those life events to document here some to-dos or tasks that I need to be concerned with. And then from there, I then moved all of that stuff over to our monthly overview here in the Baddies and Budgets budget binder. So let's go to that page. And it's not here. No, those are all of my transactions. We don't want to talk about that. Let's not talk about those. All right, so here we go. So I used my monthly calendar to then come up with my monthly budget. And I think I am in as far as I can go. Nope. I can go in just a little bit more. There you go. All right, so this is how I see everything laying out. And let's just hope that we have enough money to cover everything that we have to cover. I am not sure. I am literally not sure. Okay, so let's talk about it. As far as my pay is concerned, I am anticipating $22.50 every paycheck, and I've got 2 paychecks that I'll receive during that 4-week cycle that we talked about. My hope is that I'm also rolling over $150 as well. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I hope it is the case. So that's $22.50 times 2 plus 150 equals, that's $46.50 that I should expect. I am expecting as far as income is concerned. This does not show whatever Sweets gives me. That's going to be extra. Remember, he has a variable income, and he's got 4 walls in South Carolina. He's still trying to manage, not still trying to manage, that he manages as well. We got 8 walls, and we want to hold on to that property in South Carolina because it might be our step into, you know, having some property investments that we're able to do, or property management that we're able to do. So we're trying to hold on to that as well. So he doesn't have a lot of money that will be accounted for in my budget, but he is able to sometimes shoot me $100 here, $40 there, etc. And so anytime he's able to give that, then that's extra, right? I don't account for it here, but we do know that that is going to happen. Now, one of the things that I can tell you though for my paycheck is, before I write down that number of $22.50, I've already taken out tithes, because that's between me and Jesus. And I've already taken out my pet insurance, and I've already taken out my car insurance as well. So all of those are already taken out. You don't see them here, and no one's ever asked me about that. But I think I have said before that those amounts are already taken out, so we don't have to account for them within the budget because they're removed. All right, but we do have other bills. So these are all of the other fixed expenses that I have. And you might notice that it does have mortgage over here. And mortgage, for most people, would probably consider a debt. Most people would probably consider that to be a debt, and they'd have it over here in the debt category. But not for me. These are all the items that I consider to be my consumer debt that I want to actively try to address as a part of this financial journey. So because of that, I want to keep mortgage separate for right now, because I want to make sure that I'm concentrating on these specifically. So that's why I have mortgage over here. And then let's go ahead and add all of these items up as my fixed expenses. 102, 715, 150. Let's move faster. 161, 176, 91, 25 for water, 50 for Xerxes Groom. I forgot something. 75 2 times for Law and Love, and that's $1,620. So I am going to write in class dues, and that's supposed to be $25. But even if I don't pay for that now, or factor it in now, I'll find that somewhere, even if I have to save some of my personal money for that. So I'm not going to write it. I wrote it in here, but I'm not going to actually put an amount in here just yet. So we'll still deal with the $1,620 for now. All right. Next, we have our variable expenses. That's groceries, gas, home, dining, supplements, pets. Monique and Corinne are combined together, and plus extra. All of those together equal $1,200. I went ahead and wrote that in because I needed to make sure that it stayed divided by 4. Remember, 40 weeks. Yes, $300 a week. So I give myself $300 a week for the month of July to spend on variable expenses. So that's basically $100 for groceries every week, $40 for gas every week, $30 for home every week, $40 for dining every week, $25 every week for supplements, $10 every week for pets. Monique gets $30 a week, and Corinne gets $20 a week. So that's $50. So $50 a week for personal. That's how we came up with our $200, and then $5 a week just in an extra or a savings one. And that's how we came up with that total of $1,200. All right. Next are the subscriptions. And I like the fact that subscriptions are kept out or separate from fixed expenses in this particular budget, because if anything ever happens and I'm not able to make enough money to take care of all of my bills, these are the things that would go first, right? These are the items that we would take out first so that we could save ourselves some money. So that's $91 for subscriptions. All right. Next is debt. So you'll notice here some of the ones you've always seen: Nelnet, Alley, Discover. Discover doesn't show anything; it shows a zero amount. But City you now see a City card that's here. So City is in rotation now. And I've got $75 twice because I want to do it or send them $75 each paycheck period. And I decided to separate it out instead of having it as a full amount in one area, because if I'm not able to do it, then it's okay. You know, I don't have to worry about doing a lot of erasing, etc. So I do have them in separately for those. And so I will tell you, I'm going to create a separate video just to talk through this particular change. But what I can tell you is that a lot of you guys know that I've been doing, I've had a skinny paycheck for about 6 months, and I'm starting to come out of that. No more skinny paycheck, right? But with that, although I was extremely blessed, I paid all of my bills on time. I was able to save money. I wasn't a little bit of money, like $50 every week, but I was able to save some money. I didn't have anything to go into default. I didn't have anything that I have that's past due. So I really was blessed, but I was not able to tackle my Discover card the way that I wanted to or I needed to. And that is significant because I was using my Discover card and the 0% balance transfer offers that I would receive in order to slowly move my debt over. That Discover card has helped me to pay off 2 credit cards, a Best Buy, and a Rooms to Go as well. And with that, I was coming up close to the end of those 0% balance transfers. Now, if I did not have that paycheck deduction or reduction, then I would have been able to get to where I needed to prior to that 0% balance transfer offer ending or expiring. But because of that, I wasn't able to put as much money as I wanted to towards the Discover card. So I did start to switch some things around, and that's why you see Discover at 0, but you see City now back in rotation. So we'll talk about that in a separate video. Anyway, let's add all of that stuff together. I probably don't even need to make a video now because I just told you all of my business. All right, 503, 90, 75, $945 on that. And then for sinking funds, I want to give myself $220 towards sinking funds. That's emergency, Xerxes, and subscriptions, giving to them every paycheck. I want to give $100 to my family binder, $100 to my personal binder. The Monday minis, $50 a week. I want to try and save $200 for that. And then family fund. So remember, I talked about all the wonderful things that we would like to do with the kids. We just don't know if we're going to have the extra money to do that. So if I can put some additional money to the side, I will. We'll just see. At any rate, adding all the other ones together is $620. And then we'll see if I have anything left over after I do all of the breakdown, to see if I have anything to put towards family fund. Something else that we have talked about, like I mentioned before, we want to start back with our contributions as far as some type of investment is concerned. Public Invest is something that I have that I want to contribute to, and I'm going to erase this amount. I did say I want to give $40 towards that, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I signed up for Public Investment app because I saw a commercial for it on YouTube, like looking at one of the ads. But honestly, I've not heard any other budget content creators using that. I've heard people use Robinhood and I've heard people use Acorns, but I've not heard anybody say that they use Public. So I'm thinking about taking my money out of there and moving it to something else. So I'm going to mark that down as a 0 for right now. But I do want to invest money. And so I do have to figure out where I want that to go. And I'm going to write that down in my calendar really quickly. Investment app. Research. Okay. So I need to do that because I need to figure out where I want to have this money go. All right. So I'm going to take that one off, but I am going to leave on Roth IRA. I want to be able to contribute that $100 a month to that. Now I have a 401k already, but this is just extra. I know that I have about $6,000, $6,500, I think overall every year I could probably give just because of my age and wanting to have that additional investment that's there. And I hope to get to a point where I could allocate enough money to meet that $6,500. But for right now, $100 a month would be great to me. So I'm just going to write that down, $100 for now. All right, so let's put all these amounts in here. $46.50 is what I'm expecting in income. Expenses, I'm supposed to add 2, 3, and 4. So that's $1,200, $1,620, $91, $29.11. $29.11. Okay. Debt $945. Sinking funds $620. Savings and investments $100. All right, let's see where we are at. $46.50 minus $29.11 minus $945 minus $620 minus 100 equals, it's $74. So I'm gonna say we're gonna contribute $50 to family fund. That's gonna bring this up to $670. Let's change this to $670. That's minus 50 from here, and that leaves me under budget by $24. And I'll put 24 under. All right, so that is the way that this lays out right now. Only able, oh, sorry, you guys, only able to contribute about $50 to the family fund. But remember, I could have more in rollover. I could have less that I have to worry about spending. For example, my Lawn Love, I talked about that. I might not need that second treatment. And so if not, I'm going to take that 75 and put it towards here. I want to contribute this Roth IRA. No, I'm going to leave that. I need to stop thinking that investment is easy to just get rid of if I need money. But I'm sure I could save some money, maybe somewhere up in here. So we shall see. But right now, that's an extra 50. And I know that sweets will always, as always, come through and provide a little extra change. And so that is what I'm going to expect. I know you heard me, sweets. I know you're watching these videos. All right. I think that is it. Thanks, everybody, for your time. You guys have a good one.